Happy Monday, everyone. So glad you're here. I'm Mikki, if you've not practiced me before, and this is going to be our mellow Monday night yoga and beverage of your choice flow. For those of you that are newer to our yoga and beverage classes, these are meant to be a combination of things that make us feel good. And so in our yoga practice, I give you the invitation tonight to do just what feels good, nothing less, nothing more. I'm going to give lots and lots of options. That's the nature of an all levels yoga class. And it's up to you to pick those options that feel really good, that give you what you need here on your Monday night to settle in to your week and to feel refreshed and recharged as we head off. So we are going to get started tonight lying down on our backs. Who just joined? Oh, I don't. Apparently, I'm a queen. All right, come on down to your back. And let's bring the knees into the chest here for a moment. And as you come down and hug those knees in, let's let it be a hug. Wrap the arms around the leg in a way that feels embracing, feels caring for yourself. And then let's take your feet down to the ground. We'll let those feet go wide. We'll let the knees fall in on each other. And let's bring the hands down onto the belly. And just do your wiggles and fidgets to get the shoulders just right, the feet just right, the head just right. And let's begin this evening with a focus on our breath. So in a pace that feels nice tonight, letting that air come in as you inhale. Letting that air release as you exhale. And I often think of our mind like a snow globe. It gets all shaken up throughout the day, and we need these moments, these opportunities to bring it back to that place where all of the snow settles once again on the bottom of the globe. So as you begin to breathe here, as you begin to settle in, you might feel yourself distracted or the mind still running. You might find it really hard to be still and present here. Just stay with it. Let the mind become more and more interested in this act, this process of breathing. Let the mind become more and more interested in what's present here in the moment, the way that your body feels on the ground, the way that the air feels on your skin. And let's begin to add some pauses into the breath tonight as we settle in. So let's inhale fully and completely the next time you're bringing air in. And I want you just to linger full of air. Just pause for maybe 1 or 2 seconds. And then return to the breath, letting the air release as you exhale. We'll pause again when you're empty. Again, doesn't need to be long, maybe a second or 2. And then inhale again. And let's repeat this pattern for a few moments. So you'll inhale and exhale just like normal, but give yourself permission to pause in the space in between. Pause when you're full of air without that need to rush off to the next exhale. Pause and linger when you're empty before moving on to that inhale. Settling in here to the entire process of breathing, not just the stopping points, not just the inhale or the exhale, but the entire experience. Let's take one more round of breath like this with the pauses. And then return to your normal rhythm, to your breath. Now with an awareness of those places in between, but not necessarily the pauses in those spaces. And we're going to start to wiggle the feet and the knees to hip width. And let's bring your right knee into your chest and reach down and give that shin or that hamstring a hug with your hands. Just squeeze that leg in nice and close. And then let's take your arms, open them out into a T or a goalpost shape. And we're going to start to take your right foot up toward the ceiling. So your left foot is going to root into the ground. Your right foot is going to lift up as though it is holding the ceiling up above you. With your next exhale, let's root into that left foot and begin to lower your right leg down, any amount toward the floor. And then inhale, let that right leg return straight up to the sky. Let's do that one more time. Try to balance the energy and the effort of your two legs. Exhale, lower the leg down. And then inhale, lift it up. One last time on this side. We'll lower that leg. Let it hover. Inhale, bring it back up. And at the top there, we're going to bend your right knee, bring it into the chest. Re-grab onto shin or thigh with your hands. Option 1, stay here. Option 2, begin to take that left leg out to hover, just an inch or two off the ground. Option 3, begin to lift your head and your heart up toward your right knee. Imagine there's a pillow behind your head that your head could rest into. And then final option, maybe you release the grab on that right leg and start to reach your hands toward your feet. And then with your next exhale, head back to the floor, both knees into your chest, and a little rock side to side. We'll move both hands over onto your left leg. Let your right foot come down to the ground with the knee bent. Feel that right foot root and ground into the floor. One full breath here, allowing that left leg to really settle into the belly. And then we'll open the arms out into a T or a goalpost, whatever feels rooting and grounding for your shoulders, and we'll take your left foot up toward the sky. Can you push up through that left foot as much as you root down through your right foot? As you exhale, we'll begin to lower that left leg toward the ground. It can lower as much or as little as you would like. And then inhale, bring that leg back up. We're going to take 2 more rounds here. And I want you to start to see if it can take you the entire length of your exhale to lower the leg. And the entire length of your inhale to lift it back up. So that this practice of yoga, this experience, is the entire process. Not just the stopping points, not just the poses, but it includes all of the places in between. Bring that leg up to the sky one more time. And then let's bend the left knee, bring the hands onto the shin. Thigh works as well. You have the option to stay here or begin to take that right leg, kick it out to hover just off the floor. Stay here. Or heart and head start to lift up toward that left knee. Final option, release your hands toward the feet. Full, complete inhale in. Full, complete, unrushed exhale out. And at the very end of that exhale, let the head come down. Let the knees come into the chest. Little rock on the back. And then let's start to move up and down your spine, front to back. And we're going to make our way up and over into table pose, hands and knees. As you come to table, let's place your wrists right below your shoulders, your knees right below your hips. And we'll start to move through some cat-cow this evening. As you inhale, let's drop the belly, lift the heart, lift the head. cow pose. And then as you exhale, we'll round your spine and let the head fall forward between your arms. Couple rounds here. Inhaling, belly down, head and heart up. Exhale, cat. For these next couple rounds, let's play with initiating the movement from the tailbone. So as you inhale, let the tailbone be the first thing to lift. And then every other bone of your spine rippling into place from there. As you exhale, let the tailbone be the first thing to tuck. And each and every bone of your spine, like dominoes, falling into place from there. How about 2 more rounds? Take the entire length of your inhale to find your cow shape. The entire length of your exhale to find your cat shape. One more time. Inhaling into cow. Exhaling into cat. Well, my cat asks for attention. And then let's inhale in between those two shapes into your table shape. We're going to tuck your toes under. Don't get excited about down dog yet. Let's float your knees an inch off the ground for floating table. Now, the nice thing about core work is at home, you can just pretend like I'm not giving this option and you can skip it if you want. It's here for you if you want it and need it tonight. And then let those knees come on back down to the ground. Go ahead and untuck your toes so the toes point back once again. Root down into your shin. So feel the shins, the tops of the feet press down, almost like you're going to try to lift your knees off the ground again. And then keeping that engagement with your left shin, left leg, let's start to take your right leg back. And the toes are going to point down toward the floor. So try not to let them turn out to the side. We're going to firm your outer left hip in. So kind of hug it in toward your midline, toward your center. And then keeping those right toes pointed toward the ground, we're going to start to drag that right leg to the right, maybe a few inches, maybe a foot, but try not to let the toes turn out. And then bring it right back to where it started. Let's do that 2 more times. Let it slide out. Really hug that outer left hip in. So nothing else is changing. And then slide it back. One more time to the right. And back. Go ahead and bend that right knee. Bring it down to the floor, back into table. Feel that right shin, the top of your right foot root into the ground. And then we'll take your left leg back. Again, toes are pointing straight toward the floor. Just be aware of kind of what happens when we're not thinking about things. Feel that right hip hug in. And then try to keep everything in table, just as it is as your left leg begins to draw out toward the left. Toes point straight down. And then take it back behind you where it started. 2 more times. To the left. And back. And one more time. To the left. And back. Our practice tonight is going to focus on the stabilizing muscles in our outer hips. So there was your first hello to those. Let's bring that left shin back to the floor. Tuck your toes under once again. And let's find that floating table. As you exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. And then inhale, let's rebend your knees and come back down to that floating table. How about 2 more of those? The entire length of your exhale to pull you back, down dog. The entire length of your inhale to return you to your floating table. One more time, down dog. Floating table. And then let's take it back one last time, downward facing dog. From this down dog, let's put a gentle bend to your knees, and we're going to take your hands and walk them all the way back to your feet. If you need to take feet toward hands a little bit, then go ahead and do that. And then when you get to your forward fold, we're going to bend your knees quite a bit. Let your hands slide around to the back of the calves. And bend your knees enough that your belly can rest on your thighs. Let your head hang heavily. And then as you inhale, let's start to straighten your legs any amount. Let the hips lift straight up toward the ceiling. And then exhale, rebend your knees and settle right back in. Let's do that 2 more times. Root down into your heels, straighten the legs. Inhale. Exhale, bend your knees, let the belly rest on the thighs. One more time. Root down into the heels, lift your hips straight up. And then exhale, bend the knees and settle. Let's keep your weight mostly back in your feet, but we're going to start to crawl your hands back forward toward your downward facing dog. But let's just take your time here, lingering in that space between, lingering in the transition, staying with your breath. And just walk your hands little by little back into that downward facing dog, keeping as much weight back in your feet as possible. When you find that down dog, let your head hang heavily. Heels are dropping toward the floor, but that doesn't mean that they have to touch the ground. And then if it makes sense in your body tonight, let's start to take your right leg lifted up and back with the toes pointing straight down to the ground, just like when we were doing in table. Try not to let them turn to the side. And however it works for you, right foot forward between your hands. Let's drop your back knee to the ground to get started here. And let your hands come on up to the sky. And let's feel in your knee, your back knee and your front foot, this action of scissoring. So right foot pulling back, left knee pulling forward. And I want you just to feel sort of this hugging in of your 2 outer hips, like you're trying to hug something between your legs. Some of you stay here with the back knee on the ground. Some of you tuck that back toe, set of toes under. Try to keep that front knee pretty low and pretty bent and power up that back leg to straight, lifting the back knee off the ground. Your choice, back knee up or down. And then whether you have the knee up or down, we're going to lean forward, bring your hands to your heart. And begin to rotate any amount, left elbow down, right elbow up, so that you're turning toward your front thigh. Press back actively through that back heel. Some of you might latch the left elbow outside the right leg, but some of you won't. And then exhale, untwist, let your hands find the ground, and let's step it back into downward facing dog. Never needs to be graceful. Just stay with your breath and stay with yourself in those transitions. Once you're in your down dog, you're invited and welcome to stay here. If you want to keep moving, let's inhale into plank. Drop the knees to the ground for this first round. Elbows point straight back as you lower to the belly. At the ground there at the bottom, untuck your toes. Inhale. Let's lift the heart, the shoulders, the head. Baby cobra. Feel those hands pull back as you root into the thighs, root into the feet. And then exhale, return, forehead to the floor. Inhale, table, come on up. And downward facing dog. As you find your down dog, you can keep 2 feet on the ground if you'd like. Or inhale, begin to lift that left leg to the ceiling. Toes point straight down. Any way that works for you, left foot forward between your hands. Let's put that back knee down on the ground. Come on up, low lunge. Starting down at our foundation, at our roots. Feel the left foot push down and pull back. That right knee push down and pull forward. A little sense of hugging in on those outer thighs. Stay here if you'd like, or tuck the back toes under. Do your best to keep that knee fairly bent, the front knee, and power up that back leg to straight. Whether you kept the back knee up or down, let's lean forward, hands to heart. Start to rotate around your waist, right elbow down, left elbow up. You do not have to get to that full destination of latching the elbow. Be okay in that transitional kind of space in between, the process of rotating, the process of finding the twist. One more full breath here. Can you get as long as possible from your back leg through the crown of the head. And then both hands to the floor, and let's step back, downward facing dog. You are invited once again to stay in your down dog to find some stillness. Or inhale, come forward, plank pose. Knees up or down, elbows point straight back. This movement is called Chaturanga. All the way to the belly. And then inhale, baby cobra. Let the entire length of your inhale expand your back bend. Maybe you lift up a little bit higher. Exhale, bring yourself back down to the floor. And then let's make our way back into downward facing dog. Couple breaths here. Let the head be heavy. Allow most of the weight to be in the feet. And then let's look towards your hands. Begin to walk your feet forward towards the top of the mat. Bend your knees as much as you need to. And then once you're at the top of the mat, let's bend your knees a lot. Round your spine. Let your head and your arms dangle. And let's take maybe 2 or 3 breaths to roll yourself up. Enjoying that entire transition from the ground and up to standing. At the top, no rush. Take your hands, reach them up to the sky. Let the palms join together overhead and exhale, hands down into your heart. Super simple like that one more time. The entire length of your inhale to take those hands upwards. The entire length of your exhale to bring your hands into your heart. Being just as present in the spaces in between. Let's add on here. Inhale, hands go up. And exhale with a soft bend to your knees. Let's fold over your legs. As you fold, let your fingers find your shins. Inhale, fingers slide up the shins, halfway lift. And then exhale, let's bow forward. Rooting into your feet. Let's rise up, reach up as you inhale. And exhale, hands to heart. Let's add on from there. Inhale, reaching upward. And exhale, folding. Inhale, halfway lift. We're going to try to maintain this pace. So you either speed it up or slow it down as you need to. Exhale, let's fold. And as you fold, let's take the left leg back into your lunge. Back knee can be up or down. We'll inhale, hands to the sky. And then exhale, hands go forward and back down. Stepping back, downward facing dog. As you find your down dog, let's inhale, roll up onto the tippy toes, let the heels lift. And then exhale, heels drop. You can stay with that or inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. One more breath here. You can lift and lower the heels or roll forward, plank. And pull back, down dog. With your next inhale, left leg lifts up and back. Any way that works for you, foot between the hands as you exhale. When you're ready, we'll inhale to rise, crescent lunge. And exhale, hands come back down around that front foot. Inhale, stepping forward, feet together. And exhale, fold. Rooting into your feet. Let's rise up, reach up as you inhale. And exhale, hands to heart. Just like a song or a dance, letting the movement and the breath be steady. Inhale, hands go up. Exhale, fold. It's the same exact pattern of movement. We're just going to change the order of the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Right leg steps back first. When you're ready, we inhale to rise. And exhale, lower the hands. Downward facing dog. Inhale, let those heels lift. Exhale, heels drop. Stay with that, or inhale, plank. Down dog, exhale. One more breath here. With your next inhale, we'll take your right leg up and back. Exhale, foot between your hands. When you're ready, we rise up. Inhale, crescent pose. Exhale, hands around that front foot. Step forward, feet together. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, rise up, reach up. And exhale, hands to heart. Let the eyes close or the gaze settle. And feel the effect of that steady, continuous movement. When you're ready, let's blink the eyes open. Start to bend your knees as you sit back. Hands can stay at heart or reach up toward the sky, chair pose. And your chair pose could be anywhere between a preschool chair and a standing desk. You choose. And if you're really lucky, Musketeer's going to start giving you guys stink eye like he did on Saturday. Let's imagine that you're hugging a block or a bottle of wine between your thighs. And at the same time that you're hugging those inner thighs in, let's imagine that you're trying to rip your yoga mat in half with your feet. So there's this hug in and hug out in equal parts. And then let's go ahead and bring your hands down onto those outer hips. It's kind of where maybe pockets would be on the sides there. And we're going to shift into your right foot. Keep that right knee bent. Firm that outer right hip in and start to float your left foot off the ground. We're going to move that left foot a few inches forward and a few inches back. And I want you to keep that outer right hip really stable and steady, right beneath your hand. Keep it firming in toward the center of your body. Little swings forward, little swings back. And then we'll let that left foot come back down into chair. Feel that firming in of the outer left hip as you shift into that left foot. Let the right foot hover. If you're like me, you have one side that's much more wobbly than the other. And start to let that right foot go a little forward and a little back. And you just stabilize to the best of your ability. So try not to let that hip pop out. Hug in. And then let that right foot come on back down. Hands to the sky, chair pose. As you exhale, shift into that right foot, left leg steps back, and we'll reach your hands back behind you. And let's transition between those two for a couple rounds of breath. So inhale, chair. Take the entire inhale to find chair. The entire exhale to step back into your lunge. How about 2 more rounds there? Inhale, step forward. Exhale, step back. Being as present with those in-between transition spaces as you are with the final poses. Inhale, chair. Exhale, step into your lunge. As you step back, let's go ahead and let that back heel come down to the ground. Those back toes will angle out just a bit. And let's bring your shoulders over your hips, hands to the sky for warrior one. As you settle, let's bend those elbows out to the sides into goalposts. You can air high five your friends. And then let's bring those arms together in front of the chest and just glue your hands, your forearms, maybe your elbows together. Feel the elbows press forward and any amount up toward the sky. And like a seesaw, as those elbows go up, can the spot around the base of your neck soften down? And then let's open your shoulders toward the long edge of your mat. Right hand forward, left hand back, warrior two. So your front knee and front toes are pointing straight forward. Let's reverse, keeping that front knee bent. Take your left hand down the back leg, right hand to the sky. And then tonight we're going to bend that right elbow and let the hand come on down to the low skull, kind of where a low ponytail would be. Push up through that right elbow, get really long through the whole right side of your body. And then inhale, let's straighten the front leg. And exhale, bend the front knee. 2 more there. Straighten any amount. And bend. And straighten. And bend. With your next exhale, let your hands come down around that front foot, back heel lifts. And any way that works for you, let's step back, downward facing dog. Just like before, you have the invitation to stay here. Or inhale, let's come forward to plank. Knees up or down. We'll move through Chaturanga, all the way to the belly. And then at the floor, inhale, root down to rise up as much as you would like into your cobra. Making your way back down to the belly. And then into downward facing dog. Take your time. From your downward facing dog, let's bend the knees, lift the heels, look forward. Exhale, walk, step, or hop, top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bow forward. Bend your knees and come on up, chair. I think there's only like 2 or 3 chair poses tonight. You guys are almost done. When you're ready, let's shift into that left leg. Feel that left outer hip hug and firm in. Right leg steps back. That'll be your exhale. Hands can reach back. And then inhale, step forward into chair, hands to the sky. 2 more. Step back. And forward. Back. And forward. Last one here. We'll step back. As you step back, let that heel find the floor. Toes are angled out. We'll bring hands and shoulders over hips. Warrior one. And then once you're settled, let's bend your elbows out to the sides, goalpost arms. Feel that broadening out through the elbows. Maybe some virtual high fives. And then let's bring your elbows and forearms together in front of the chest. Hands, forearms, maybe elbows glued together. Make it work for you. And then push forward through the elbows and up. Maybe look up. And then when you're ready, we'll open up. Warrior two. So toes and knee on that front foot are pointing forward. Left arm forward, right arm back. When you're ready, we'll keep that front knee bent, reverse. Right hand down the back leg, left hand reaches up. Bending that left elbow, let your hand come to the base of the skull. Press up through the elbow. And then if it makes sense in your body, inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale, bend the front knee. Do that 2 more times. Straighten. And bend. Root into that left big toe. Straighten. And bend. At the end of that exhale, we'll let your hands come down around your front foot. Back heel lifts. Any way that works for you. Downward facing dog. Once again, with that invitation to listen to your breath and what you need tonight. Maybe you need some stillness. Maybe you need to keep moving through that, what we call a vinyasa, plank, chaturanga, back bend of your choosing. And make your way back into downward facing dog. As you find your down dog, if it makes sense, if it feels good, right leg to the sky. You can stay here if you'd like, or exhale, right knee into the nose. Maybe you give it a kiss. Up and back, inhale. Let's do that 2 more times. Bring it in, exhale. Lift it up and back, inhale. Last one. Lifting the foot to the sky. And then this time, from wherever you're at, we'll step your right foot forward between your hands. Keep your back knee and your back heel off the ground. We'll rise up into your crescent lunge. Take a moment to reach the fingers to the sky. Feel yourself root down into your feet, down into your legs as you reach up, up, up through the fingertips. And then let your hands come down to your heart, but the heart continues to lift toward your thumbs. Nice and slowly. The attempt is slow. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. We're going to lean a little forward, come up onto your right foot. Try to bring that left knee all the way up into your chest. You're going to have a couple tries at that. So whatever happened, happened. Exhale. Let's step it all the way back into your lunge. How about 2 more? Inhale. Left knee comes to the chest. Firm the outer right hip in. Really stabilize through that outer right leg. And then step it right on back into your lunge. 1 more. Knee to chest. Try to take the entire length of the inhale to hit your destination. The entire length of your exhale to step back. And then let's step up, knee into chest. 1 more time. Stand tall. Give that left foot some purpose, something to step into. An imaginary something. Let your heart lift to meet your thumbs. Feel broad across the chest. And then let's start to tip your torso forward. Take your left leg back into warrior 3. It does not matter how high that left leg is off the ground. It could be pretty low, but just like the couple things we've done, try not to let your toes turn out to the side. So toes point straight down. Some of you, maybe the body and the leg are parallel to the ground. Last 2 breaths here. If you want a little bit more, we're going to exhale, bend the right knee. Inhale, straighten the right leg. Whew. 1 more. You've got this. Bend and straighten. And then we step all the way back into our lunge. Take your hands up to the sky, maybe into a V and slightly back behind you. This like, I did it moment. And then hands back to heart. Drop your back heel. And let's open up into warrior 2. We're going to take your arms forward and back just like before. And from deep in your shoulders, let's turn your palms forward and up. And then forward and down. Forward and up. Just feeling that rotation in the arms and in the shoulders. Forward and down. 1 more time. Forward and up. And forward and down. And then let's bend your right elbow, bring the right elbow to the right thigh, left hand to the sky. And let's make sure that left palm is turning behind you, so toward the back of the mat and then behind your body. Bend the elbow, bring that left arm into the small of your back. Some of you it'll grab the non-existent love handle. Some of you it'll just press into the small of your back. And then let's turn the gaze down toward the floor. Use that half bind in that left arm to create space in the shoulder, the left side of the neck. You have one final breath here. Those of you that want more, keep everything as it is. Take that right arm forward. And then let's all come on up. Warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Left hand down the back leg, right hand to the sky. And then exhale, hands around your front foot. Back heel lifts, and let's step back. Downward facing dog. Couple breaths here. You're welcome to stay. You're welcome in your own time to flow through that vinyasa, plank, chaturanga back bend. Noticing the entire experience of your breath. The whole inhale, whole exhale, and the places in between. When you're ready, we'll take left leg up and back. You can stay here if you'd like, or you can keep 2 feet on the ground, or exhale, left knee into the heart. Inhale, up and back. You have 2 more rounds of breath. You can repeat that pattern if you'd like. Bring it in with your exhale. Kick it up and back with your inhale. One more time. And then we'll step that foot forward between your hands. Keep the back knee, keep back heel lifted. Come on up, Crescent Lunge. Feel yourself rooting down into the feet, down into the legs as you energetically lift up, up, up through the fingertips. And then keep that heart lifting. Bring the hands together and into your chest. And we're going to start this balanced transitional flow for a couple rounds. So be patient with yourself. As you inhale, we'll work toward bringing that right knee up and into the chest. And as you exhale, we'll move back toward your lunge. We'll do it a couple times because each round usually gets a little more familiar, a little more fluid. Not always, but usually. And feel that awareness of that outer left hip hugging in, giving this stability as you step onto the leg, come up into your balance, and as you step back. Let's bring that knee up one more time. We'll linger in the balance. Feel that rooting down into the foot to lift, lift, lift through the leg, through the spine, through the crown of the head. And then keep firming that outer left hip in. If you want to put your hand there again, it can help. We're going to start to tip your torso forward. Take that right leg back into your warrior three. Do not pressure yourself with how high that back foot is off the ground. Focus instead on your standing leg stabilizing you. Those back toes pointing downward instead of out. The length of your space. Those of you who want a little more, last 2 breaths, bend the standing leg and straighten. Bend and straighten. Step it back into your lunge. Hands to the sky. Maybe you take that celebratory V in the arms. And then open it up, warrior two. Once you've settled with your arms parallel to the ground, let's find that rotation in the shoulders. So palms forward and up. And then forward and down. A little bit back. Palms forward and up. Forward, down, and back. One more time. And then let's settle that left elbow on your left thigh, right hand to the sky. We'll turn that right palm to face behind you. Bend the elbow. Bring that right hand to the small of the back or the non-existent love handle or the thigh. And let's turn your gaze down toward that left foot. Try to make sure that you're not just sitting in that left elbow. So create space, create lift. Really root into that back foot. Final breath here. If you want a little bit more, keep everything where it's at. Take that left arm forward. And then we'll all come on up. Warrior 2, arms parallel to the ground. Inhale, reverse. And hands down around your front foot. Back we go. Downward facing dog. You know the drill by now. You can settle into stillness, or you can roll through that vinyasa, but try not to get so focused on the poses that you miss the spaces in between. Home stretch here. One more little mini round of standing poses. Let's take your right leg up and back, and foot between your hands. Let's rise. Crescent pose. Come on up. Find that lift, find that length. Hands to heart. Let's tip forward. Come on up to that right foot. Left leg comes off the ground, warrior 3. And then let's take that left leg all the way forward, and we're going to lift it up either bent or straight in front of us. Back to warrior 3. Put a smile on your face. You only have to do that one more time, and you don't have to do it at all if you don't want to. Knee or foot comes forward as you stand up, and then take it back. Warrior 3, bend the front knee, step into your lunge. 2 straight legs, 2 hands to the sky. Get big, get tall, get long. And then let's bend the front knee and let your hands come down around your front foot. Let's step that left foot next to your right. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, let's fold and grab opposite forearms or elbows. Let the arms get heavy, let the head get heavy. And let everything dangle over your legs. As much bend to your knees as you would like here. Let your hands find the ground. And let's step back into plank with a smile on your face. 2 full breaths in plank. Use the legs to give it power. And then use your legs to pull you back. Downward facing dog. Final round here, left leg lifts. And foot between your hands. Try not to defeat yourself. Give yourself the options that make you strong, that make you feel strong. Come on up, hands to the sky. Feel that lift, feel that length, keep it. Hands come into your heart. Tip forward. You're welcome to stay here or come up onto that left foot and take flight. Remember, it does not matter how high that back leg is. Stay here if you'd like, or start to bring your heart and head up. Bring that right knee into the chest. Maybe the right leg kicks forward to straight. And then back we go, warrior 3. Leg back, heart forward. Little smile on your face. Everything is easier with a smile. One more time, bring it forward and up. Bent or straight. And then take it back. Bend that left knee, step back into your lunge. 2 straight legs, hands reach up, get tall, get spacious. And then we bend the front knee, let your hands come down around your front foot. And we step forward, feet together. Now, as you come up, we're going to bend the knees and just kind of transition up for a moment through chair pose, but come on up to standing. We're going to pull the hands behind you into a clasp. So either just thumbs or all of the fingers, your choice. And let's give ourselves a good amount of space. So feet wide on your mat. Soft bend in the knees. And let's begin to tip over your legs as you let the hands fall away from your low back. Let the head be heavy. Allow everything to relinquish control to gravity here. The arms are heavy, the head is heavy, the spine. If this is too much on your arms and shoulders, just let the hands dangle toward the ground or take that opposite arm grab that we did last round. How about 2 or 3 more breaths here? And we'll release the arms toward the floor. Bend your knees, and slowly and safely for your body, we're going to come all the way down to the ground. And we're going to come right on down to our backs. And as you come onto your back, we're going to bend the knees, place the feet as wide as your hips, arms by your sides, shoulders melting into the ground. And then I want you to take your attention all the way down into your tailbone, very bottom of your spine. And as you inhale here, let's start to lift the tailbone away from the ground. And then the next bone, and the next one. And just vertebrae by vertebrae, work your way up your spine, lifting the spine off the ground until you get to a point where you can't lift anymore. Imagine you've got a block or a bottle of wine or something between your thighs that you're hugging here. At the same time, feel the feet act as though they're trying to rip your yoga mat in half. And then starting at the top of your spine, bone by bone, lower your spine back down to the ground until that tailbone reconnects with the floor. Now, there will be whole sections of your spine that you don't feel or connect with. So don't feel like you're failing at it. I want you just to tune up that awareness of the process. So we're going to do that 2 more times. Start at the tailbone. Just imagine that you could feel each and every bone of your spine lifting away from the ground. Keep that stability in the outer hips and in your legs. And then bone by bone, return your spine back down to the ground. In this moment, you don't need to have any answers or have things figured out. There's nothing to accomplish. It's just you and your body and your spine and this exploration of the details in between. Let's do it one more time. Inhale. Staying with yourself moment by moment, breath by breath. When you get to the top this time, let's go ahead and keep those hips lifted. Stay in the shape for 2 full breaths. Let your shoulders melt into the ground. And we're going to start to walk your hands underneath you. Really wiggle those arms under your back, and let's grab opposite thumbs. And then you're going to do that same bone by bone lower, but your arms are going to be tucked underneath your back. And when the hips are on the arms, just let those thumbs release. Let the outer shoulders melt into the ground. There'll be a sense of a dome in the upper back. Let the head be heavy on the floor. Breathe in space around your heart, around your throat. And then one arm at a time, let your arms sneak out from beneath you. Just let the arms find the ground beside you. And let's bring your right ankle to your left thigh and let that right knee fall open toward the side. Option to stay here for a couple breaths. Option to bring your legs in toward your belly, to reach through the gateway of your legs and to hug your arms around that left hamstring or your left shin. Maybe here as we start to settle and move ourselves towards relaxation and rest, you add those pauses back in. Pauses that we started class with. Pausing when you're full of air. Just 1 or 2 seconds. It doesn't need to be long. Pausing when you're empty. Making peace with the places in between. Let's take that left foot back to the ground. And then your right foot. Let's do that same thing on your second side. So left ankle, right thigh. Let the knee fall open. You are more than welcome and invited to stay here. Or legs start to come in toward the belly. Reach down, grab onto your right thigh or your right shin, and settle right back in. Continuing to explore those pauses in your breath, if that serves you in some way tonight. If it in any way creates anxiety or discomfort, just let it go and just stay with your breath. We'll let that right foot come back down, and then your left. And let the arms come kind of out to the sides. It doesn't have to be all the way into a T. Just give yourself some space, and let's take those knees to the right, and then back up to center and to the left. We're going to let that be really fluid side to side a couple times. And invite this fluid movement side to side with the knees to just affect the rest of the body in whatever way it kind of organically happens. Your head might roll with the knees. It might be still. Letting tension and holding and effort begin to subside, and kind of just letting yourself become loose. A little bit of a rag doll. If there's any last pose, shape, or movement that you need tonight, let it happen. And when you are ready for your well-earned, well-deserved shavasana, your rest at the end of your Monday night, let those legs settle into a comfortable place. Let the arms and the hands settle into a comfortable place. And allow the eyes to close. And it's really hard at home to linger here. This feels like that transition that's hard to stay in. You know what's coming next. But try to stay with yourself here. Let yourself be still for a few moments. Let your mind be here with just this act of breathing in and breathing out without the mind needing to jump off and into whatever comes next. And the next time you inhale, allow it to be a little longer, a little fuller. As you exhale the next time, invite that same fullness, that same length, lingering in that experience of your breath. Do that one more time. Lingering in this experience of breathing in. Lingering in this experience of breathing out. And then when you feel ready to begin to move your body once again, allow those movements to begin to find their way back into your body. And allow that movement to little by little, without any rush, bring you up to a comfortable seat. Settling as you find that seat with your hands together in front of your heart, palm to palm. Feeling and observing the practice that you had tonight, the space that you created for yourself, the breath that you created for yourself. And carrying this with you into the remainder of your week as a gift to yourself and to everyone you connect with along the way. The light within me honors the light within each of you. Namaste. Mm. Thank you guys so much. I hope that was at least a little bit what you needed tonight. I know it was what I needed today. If you have any questions about practice, never hesitate to reach out to me. I'm happy to answer emails and messages about like, why does this feel this way? Or I don't actually know what I'm doing with this pose. Always happy to answer questions. We will be at this again Wednesday night at 6. Jamie is teaching this week. And then Saturday morning, I'll be teaching again at 10 a.m. for yoga and coffee Saturday morning routine. We are giving away our final gift card this evening. We might buy more, but for now, it's the last of the bunch. $15 to 1859 Cider Company here in Salem, which is fantastic. So just post a picture that somehow represents your yoga and beverage experience this evening, your space, your fur children, a picture of your screen, practicing, whatever, doesn't matter. Just post it, tag us, and you'll be entered to win. We'll do that drawing tomorrow. Thank you guys. Thanks, Howard. Thanks, Debbie. Thanks, Claire. Yulia. We have like a huge yoga and beer crew tonight. We actually have like one of our very original yoga and beer teachers, Caroline, here with us, who I haven't seen in years. So super cool to have our team here. Yulia and Jamie. Seville might be there too somewhere. Thank you, Carla. Thanks, Lori. Thanks, Karen. So good to have you guys. Thanks, Mom. Mom. It's not quite the same as practicing in person, but I'm super grateful for these virtual classes together in this community that we have. I will post a link to Zoom if you want to come chat with us. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you. Kathy, sorry. Not Catherine. I needed that too. So thank you guys. I'll post a link to Zoom here in just a moment. If you want to come chat and cheers with us, come do that. I'd love to see your face. If you need to go off and enjoy your evening, thanks, Caroline. Enjoy your evening. The chat is there for you when and if you want it and need it to connect. And here comes the link. Boop. Hey, thank you, Anna. Good to have you. All right, guys, I hope you all have a lovely evening, a lovely week. If I don't see you, I'll be practicing alongside you on Wednesday night while Jamie teaches. Mwah. From the bottom of my heart, I hope you have a wonderful week. Bye, guys.